You're watching Planet Vehicle right here, and I'm Alvin Jones. We're at the National Press Club, and the National Press Club, of course, is well known throughout the world as the place where the newsmakers come. Presidents from all over have come to speak at the National Press Club. And right now we have a presidential summit. I'm currently the president of the Washington Automotive Press Association. And this gentleman, Mr. Gerald Murphy, is the president of the Washington area New Automobile Dealers. And you represent, I'm good. You represent over how many dealers? It's about 200 new car dealers in the Washington, D.C. area?
Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit north of 200. That's about right, in and around the Capitol Beltway.
So when someone's looking to buy a car, they have choices.
They do. They've got every vehicle that the automakers produce is right here for sale.
Right here in Washington, D.C. Now, how important is Washington, D.C. to the auto industry?
It's very important because you got Congress down the street. You've also got the White House and the agencies up the street, and they all make laws that impact the auto industry. And of course, the big conversation right now has to do with fuel economy and where it's going to be going in the future. The president has indicated that it's going to be, 56 miles per gallon by 2025.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and 2025, of course, is a long way away.
Well, that sounds like balsa wood cars or something like that.
It's different than what we have today, yes. I would expect. That does contemplate that, a lot of the technologies that, are in the developmental stages right now are going to be here and up and operating. A lot of electric cars, maybe some hydrogen cars, and, obviously some hybrids. It's not here yet. In fact, it's a long way away. The automakers are balking at that, saying that, you could take us back to the early 70s when the government came in and ramped up the standards on, I guess it was fuel efficiency or clean air, actually, back in the early 70s. And the technology wasn't there. And the MPG and the performance of cars just went, down the gutter.
Yeah, I remember once you had the catalytic converter, your acceleration just decelerated, so to speak.
Yes, it did.
Now let's talk about the car industry, what it means in Washington, D.C. as far as people being able to buy cars. I know that some of the Japanese manufacturers have had or had problems based upon the earthquake and the resulting tsunami. How is that making a play in Washington, and how is the industry rebounding as far as car sales?
Well, Washington is always a little ahead of the curve, as opposed to the nation. But the good news for the industry is that the tsunami is very much in the rearview mirror at this point, which isn't to say that there isn't still fallout, not just with the Japanese brands, but all the parts that are made in Japan that can impact, cars from Europe as well as the USA.
Yeah, that's right, because actually the car market is a global market these days.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about that. But the good news is that, I think things are beginning to, to thaw in that respect. And, it's summertime. It's clearance time. I mean, the next model year is coming in.
It means you can get a deal. Speaking of that, a lot of times consumers have kind of a fear, be it real or imagined, when they go in to buy a car. If someone right now is looking to buy a car and they're looking to go into a car dealership, how can they make their experience less painful and even joyful?
Well, it's joyful by definition because, you go in and it's a big deal. It's an exciting thing to get a new car. You're realizing your driving ambition. You're extending your personality and that of your families. It's an exciting thing. And, you see that at the auto show that we produce here in Washington every year. People come in and, it's very much almost a celebration. It's like, it's a family affair where, father will bring his son to the circus sort of thing and look at all the shiny new cars. It's the same thing in a showroom.
Well, you know what? Now that you've put it that way, I see things in a different light. So buying a car is almost like a graduation or a wedding. It's one of those events that has a lot of anticipation and a lot of excitement about it. So I guess most of the fears people have is that, will I be able to take this car home today?
And the wedding's a good example because I've got daughters, are stepping up to bat on that. And the whole logistical thing of the wedding, how much is it going to cost and all that is off-putting. But once you get into the wedding, I mean, it's fabulous. It's one of the most joyful occasions, you know, you'll be at as a family, particularly, you know, for your, for your children, you know, you're going through that on your nickel.
Right.
Doesn't quite work that way with a car unless you got rich parents.
That's right.
But it's the same idea. In other words, it's concerning when you think, you know, about maybe the financial aspects of it, but the financial aspects of it can all be sorted through, you know, with careful consideration. I mean, there's all kinds of information out on the internet right now, so you can pretty much, you know, shop there and get an idea, you know, what you can afford.
Right.
And you definitely should do that. You should shop. In other words, you should go from, you know, one brand to another and dealer to dealer to make sure that you're getting exactly what it is, you know, that best suits you. And, you know, it depends on what your circumstances are. You know.
With 200 new car dealerships in the Washington area, you can make a choice. You can do your research. And so it's like to say the educated customer is a better customer because you feel more comfortable when you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, you just talked about the circus, which is the auto show. And you can see right here, it says Washington Auto Show, the public policy show. This is a reception about this show. And you're going to have people going to come in. What should people who are watching Planet Vehicle right now anticipate about the auto show for 2012?
Well, you're gonna see every technology under the sun down there. You're gonna see, you know, the whole market. You know, so you can plug into, you know, what kind of car, you know, you're in the market for or could be in the market for. You can dream when you come down here because it's got concept cars and it's got, you know, brand new introduction cars. All kinds of different technologies are on display here because this is the public policy show. So there is a focus on what the government is regulating because the U.S. government is the auto industry's partner, whether we like it or not. I mean, it's a de facto relationship. I mean, they impact not just cars, you know, in the United States, all over the world because of, you know, what the U.S. government mandates in terms of automotive design.
And see, most of you used to think that Detroit dictating what goes on in the auto industry actually comes right here in Washington, D.C.
Well, it's increasingly the case, but you want to remember it's the auto show in July right now because, again, it's summer clearance.
July,
It's summer clearance, and there's not a better time to buy a car in terms of pricing, and credit is back. I mean, my gosh, leasing is back. You hear the lease ads on the radio. I woke up this morning hearing, you know, fabulous deals for high-end cars, a BMW and an Audi, with wonderful lease offerings. And you know, you might have to have your financial house in you know, better order than the average person to lease a car. But that's indicative that credit is back, and you can get some good credit bargains as well. But the summer time is the absolute best time. Now, you're going to be buying, you know, the 2011 car because the 2012s are coming.
Right.
But you're getting a brand new car, you know, with all the new car smell and bells and whistles and all the other things you need. Don't forget that new car smell. I mean, that's intoxicating.
In the Equus, and for the week that I've had it as a press car to test drive, I've gotten people in the car, even my pastor's like, I love the new car smell.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's something intoxicating about the new car smell.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, it lights up all the endorphins and the dopamine in your brain. I mean, it's
now,
better than chocolate.
If someone wanted to know about the dealers that are part of WANADA, do you guys have a website?
We do, and it's Washington area. It's WANADA.org.
WANADA.org.
Yeah, and you can come onto our website and which Washington Area New Auto Dealers Association, and you can go from there to all of the members in our association. And again, they're all around the Capitol Beltway.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to go through the website, and one of the things that I do like that the website includes information about the different dealers and how they are impacting the community and contributing and giving back.
Right.
So that way you'll get a chance to see that the new car dealers that you go to not only sell you cars, but they reinvest in the community. Jerry, I know you've got a reception coming up. It's going to be big. Thank you for coming on Planet Vehicle.
Alvin, it's a pleasure.
All right.
And buy yourself a car. It's a good time.
There you go. We'll be back with more. Keep it right here to Planet Vehicle.